Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and for holding this hearing today and for your efforts to reauthorize the State Department. Long overdue task, and despite Secretary Rubio's excellent leadership, the State Department is in desperate need of reauthorization. Between budgetary constraints and overlapping objectives, the department clearly needs Congress to undertake this belated process. Guam is at the forefront of many defense-related conversations, but it's important to recognize our role in other sectors of international relations. I want to commend the Guam Visitors Bureau and the Guam Economic Development Authority for serving as part of America's face in the Pacific. While these local agencies work tirelessly to promote positive international relations, I'm glad these committees seek to reauthorize the State Department because there are many areas of U.S. diplomacy to improve. One of the problems we must address is the reform of foreign assistance programs. This February, the committee explored options to enhance the role of U.S. assistance in USAID. The conclusion was obvious: cut the wasteful funds and keep the strategic, valuable parts. As we contend with China, reauthorizing the Office of Foreign Assistance, Global Partnership, and the Development Finance Corporation is imperative to enhance U.S. soft power. Similarly, the reauthorization will strengthen U.S. foreign policy from an economic perspective. During an East Asian and Pacific Subcommittee roundtable, it became evident that the State Department is undermanned in the economic sphere. Without a doubt, developing relationships with other countries through economic tools can make the U.S. presence in the region more visible and effective. This also fosters mutual beneficial relations while creating opportunities for the U.S. private sector, allowing Americans to feel the positive effects of our diplomatic efforts. Ambassador Hill, considering China's massive Belt and Road Initiative, how do you evaluate the current move by the administration to scale back these programs and the workforce? Based on your experience as a career ambassador, what would be the most effective framework to plan, implement, and access foreign assistance programs under the Secretary of State?
Well, we definitely need to make sure that we have the resources and manpower needed in order to deal with the Chinese, our competitive relationship with China across the globe. No question about that. I would say, though, as I said earlier, that we also need to measure the impact not by the amount spent, but by the results that we have achieved, and then fine-tune whatever it is that we're doing. Our methodology is very different than the Chinese methodology, and to try to compete on the same terms that they do, they have a state-directed economy, so they can send whatever resources they want all around the world. No one's going to say no. The United States is a private sector economy, of course, so no one at the State Department can sit and tell Bechtel where to spend their money. We need to help them, enable them, make sure that there's a level playing field, that the Chinese aren't eating everything up. But that's a little bit different. And so I wouldn't necessarily say that dollar for dollar is the way to measure it. And we also have a, Parkinson's law, the bureaucratic principle that work expands the number of people you assign to do it, right? So what is it we want to do is the starting point, not how many people are we going to get to do it. And so I would argue, I'll give you an example out of my career. When I was director for Israeli-Palestinian affairs, we had a certain pretty big office. I went overseas. I came back 5 years later as the next rung up in the bureaucracy, Deputy Assistant Secretary. My enterprising successor had doubled the size of the office of the Israeli-Palestinian affairs in 5 years. The work hadn't changed. Our interests hadn't changed. Our programs hadn't changed. They were all busy people doing busy things. Did we need it? Who is there making the judgment? What are the results? And so I would ask us to always bear that in mind.
Thank you. Ambassador Jeffrey, we just have a few seconds here. As I previously mentioned, an East Asia Pacific Subcommittee roundtable determined the economic offices at the Department of State have been undermanned based on your career at both State Department and National Security Council. Do you agree on this conclusion? What economics tools would you like to see fixed and reauthorized?
In terms of the economic side of the State Department, I'm not so sure we have too few offices. I think that they need to be better integrated into what other parts of the U.S. government who have interests abroad, from the Department of Agriculture, USTR we talked about earlier, that's something that needs to be worked on more. That can be through training, that can be through assignments in other agencies, which we try to do, but it's very hard in the bureaucracy.
Thank you, Ambassador. I'm sorry we ran out of time.
Pardon?
We ran out of time.
Okay.
But thank you for your comments. Thank you to the panel. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Representative Jackson.